Welcome back. It is Monday, October 23rd, and the MLB. Our two favorite picks are on the way. It's Austin, joined by Logan. Let's recap yesterday. Just an 0-1 day. Astros money line. They did not come through. Game was closer to the final score, but on Adolis Garcia grand slam in the top of the ninth, obviously blew it open. Just an 0-1 day. Now we got a game 7 in that series, which Logan will touch on in a second. We also have game 6 of the Phillies and Diamondbacks series, which we'll have a pick in each of them. Since it is a Monday, our favorite Monday Night Football picks are live. 49ers Vikings. Definitely go check that out. It was posted late last night. And with the NBA returning later on tomorrow, I'll have some NBA videos live later on this evening/afternoon. Definitely go check those out. I'm pumped for a big NBA season. It's been a long MLB season. NBA feels much longer, given that it's the every single day. But Logan, I know you're going to touch on this Game 7, one of the biggest. It's a Game 7 winner go home. Who you're rolling with in Game 7?
Yeah, this is a high stakes, high leverage game. I'm taking the Astros money line, minus 125 odds on DraftKings. Currently your best value there. Now, yesterday I did tell you I'm picking Astros game 6. I did think that was a good spot for them. They didn't really show up. This one, I said in that game, I was like, if they don't win game 6, there's a good chance I'll be back on game 7, because I was looking ahead to this matchup between Scherzer and Javier. I like Christian Javier a lot more than other people do, because he had a shaky regular season, he's still a good postseason guy. Look at Christian Javier, 1.69 ERA and a .94 WHIP in the postseason. This guy's cold-blooded. I mean, I forget his nickname. They call him like the reptile. El Reptile, I think. I forget what his nickname is, but they call him that because he's cold-blooded and he knows how to pitch in high-leverage moments. Christian Javier, 5 2/3 innings pitched, only allowed 2 earned runs in his last start versus the Rangers. It was a decent start. In 160 plate appearances, this Rangers roster doesn't see Javier all that well. They're only hitting .231 against Christian Javier. Can he be good enough to give us 5 innings and a chance to win this bet? In a Game 7, they have to pull him if he is in any danger. And I actually think that he'll be able to give a solid 5 innings pitched in this one. We look back to last year. I talked about why he's a good postseason guy and why I like backing him. As a Phillies fan, I'm well aware of this guy. In a pivotal Game 4 last year in the World Series, down 2-1 against the Phillies, Javier threw 6 innings, 9 Ks for a combined no-hitter. We remember that game. He's no stranger to high-stakes game. This is going to be another high-stakes game. For a trip at the World Series on the line, can Christian Javier go out and pitch a solid showing against the Rangers? I definitely think so, and I think he can definitely take advantage of some of these aggressive hitters for the Rangers, because he knows how to get the swing and a miss, unlike Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer starts for the Rangers, 11.25 ERA and a 1.5 WHIP in the postseason. He earned that 11.25 ERA. I'm telling you right now, he went out there and hosted batting practice. We were on the Astros team total on that one. I said, this guy is going to get cooked. And yes, 4 innings pitched, 5 earned runs in Game 3. He indeed did get cooked. Now, the reason why I cannot sit up here and make this a 10-unit max bet whale play is just because the Astros cannot hit with runners in scoring position at home. It doesn't make any sense to me at all, because yesterday they went 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position, 9 left on base. The offense obviously has to be better. There's no doubt about it. But the matchup today is really one I can trust. Nathan Eovaldi yesterday, he's big game Nate for a reason. He knows how to pitch in those games. Max Scherzer, coming back from injury and the fact that the Astros seem to have his number, these are just 2 factors that we can't ignore. As a roster, this Astros team sitting 289 and 188 plate appearances versus Mad Max. The StatCast numbers for Scherzer aren't even good as well either. 10th percentile in ground ball percentage. That's kind of opposite of what you saw Eovaldi do yesterday. Eovaldi got those ground balls when he needed to. Scherzer has not been getting them all year long. 44th percentile in fastball velocity. His fastball ain't what it once was, and he doesn't really blow it by people anymore. Again, that's why you can sit off speed, and you can even sit fastball against Max Scherzer, and you can still have success versus him. 37th percentile in barrel percentage. You can barrel him up for some extra base hits, and it's my not-so-bold prediction that guys like Altuve and Alvarez will barrel him up. At least one of those guys will have a home run versus Mad Max today. He has not been able to keep the ball in the ballpark. In the postseason, Houston is only hitting 206 at home, which just needs to be better. I mean, come on. Their home road splits just don't make sense to me. But today, again, their matchup is there. Even though the fact that the road team has won every game in this series, I don't really care in this one. I'm trusting Houston, and they have the slightly better bullpen. Look, Texas 3.86 ERA, Houston 3.07 ERA. Obviously, that bullpen number for Houston took a hit yesterday after the Garcia grand slam. But my philosophy in this game is the same as it was yesterday. I'd rather back the more playoff experienced team with the better starting pitcher today until the other team can go prove to me otherwise that this is the take the torch from the Astros type game for Texas. If they want to dethrone Houston, fine, but my money will not be on Texas to do it. I still am backing Houston in a very pivotal game 7 today. But Austin, you're going to my Phillies series. What you got for us?
Yeah, Logan, I really love the pick. I don't see how anyone could want to roll with the Rangers, but then again, I mean, every single road team has won in the series. It's been really weird. Will that trend continue today? All road teams winning? I don't know. Either way, I think we're in for a pretty good game 7. Now I'm going to go to game 6, where the Phillies look to close it out at Citizens Bank Park, and I'm taking the under 4.5 in the first 5 innings, which is currently minus 120 on BetMGM. It's the under in the first half, as FanDuel might put it on there, but all I know is I'm rooting for no runs, at least through the first 5 innings, and I think we might get a pretty low-scoring game in this one. But let's talk about the two pitchers, because we're going to have Merrill Kelly and Aaron Nola going up. We'll start with Merrill Kelly, who will start for the Diamondbacks. In game 2, he threw 5 2/3, allowed 3 hits, 4 earned runs. All 3 hits were homers. And you look at the first 5 innings, he only allowed two solo home runs. So give up 2 runs in the first 5 innings. Those actually ended up being the only runs in the first 5 innings. So while he didn't necessarily pitch great against this Phillies team, I just don't see him giving up the long ball as much as he did in game 2. I mean, there was only one occasion this season where Merrill Kelly gave up 2 home runs plus in back-to-back starts, and one of those starts was in Coors Field, where we obviously know the ball flies out of that ballpark. But look at the batters versus Kelly. They aren't necessarily the best splits. I mean, Trey Turner's cooked him 455, Schwarber 300. But outside of them, I mean, look at Bryce Harper, 143 with a couple walks. Real Muto, 273. That's pretty solid. But Castellanos, 0 for 5. Marsh, who's probably in the lineup, 0 for 4. Bohm, 0 for 3. Stott, 1 for 5. And those guys are all going to be in the lineup today. So if he can navigate his way around, the Treys, the Schwarbers, the Harpers of the world, I like our chances here. I mean, he can give up a solo bomber too. It's the problem when you give up, you walk a guy, now you got a 2-run home run or a 3-run home run, and that could be the problem. But outside of Trey, really not a lot of production against Merrill Kelly. And in an elimination game, it's not like they're going to have a long leash on Merrill Kelly. If he doesn't show his A game early, they're just going to take him out. This is the win, and they have to win this game, or else they're going home. They also have a fully rested bullpen, given they didn't play yesterday. So I really do think Merrill Kelly is in for at least a decent showing. I'm not saying he's going 5 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, but it is the Phillies at Citizens Bank Park. We know they're super talented there, but I still think he can pitch at least a little bit decently, force the Phillies to have to get a hit parade going against you. And I don't necessarily know. They really haven't had a ton of hit parades this postseason. It's been mostly, those home runs that have been how they've scored their runs. So Merrill Kelly, just keep the ball in the ballpark, and I think you got a good start under your hands. Now, Aaron Nola is going to start for the Phillies in this postseason. He's been locked in, 0.96 ERA, 18 2/3 innings pitched, only 2 earned runs allowed, both of those versus the Atlanta Braves. He threw 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 0 earned runs, 7 Ks in that game 2 game. The Diamondbacks did not have him figured out, and I'm sure they'll be a little bit better today, because I don't think they really could do any worse than that start. But still, Nola's just been such a great pitcher at home compared to on the road. You'll notice the Phillies, if they don't have to, they will not trot him out on the road. They know he just does not pitch well on the road, but at home he's been really good, and he has pretty good splits against a lot of these guys on the Diamondbacks, including basically their 2, 3, and 4 hitters. When you look at Christian Walker, Tommy Pham, and Corbin Carroll, those guys are up at the top 5 in the order. Those guys are combined 4 for 31 off Aaron Nola. Now you look at Ketel Marte, Gabriel Moreno. Both those guys have decent splits versus him. I think Moreno is 3 for 5 with 3 singles. I think Marte is like 3 for 9. But at the end of the day, I look at all these Diamondbacks hitters, what they do and have a lot in common. They are much better at home than they are on the road. Their offense was a no-show on the road in Citizens Bank Park in the first 2 games of this series. And Marte is just a quick example of that. At home this season, he hit 303. On the road, just 250. That's the case for a lot of this Diamondbacks offense. And look, they were unable to really do anything the first 2 games in Philly. I don't really see that being a ton different. They weren't able to get those hits with runners in scoring position, and I think Real Muto will be able to handle guys that are trying to steal and being able to throw those guys out if they do want to be aggressive on the base path too. So at the end of the day, I think this is a slower starting game. I like the under 4.5 in the first 5. If you want who I think wins this one, I would take the Phillies. They would have been my pick, but I'm not coming on here and laying a minus 175 money line pick, although I think that's pretty indicative of how they think this game goes. We haven't seen really any minus 175 favorites this postseason, but normally when they are that juice, probably for a good reason. But Logan, how do you feel about this game before we clock out of here?
Yeah, I really do like your under in the first five. We've seen with these like closeout games, some lower scoring games. Even the Astros game went under this 4.5 in the first five yesterday, with obviously worse pitching. With these two very strong arms on the mound, I think it does stay under as far as the full game. Yeah, I mean, we don't bet against the Phillies in the bank. We learned that lesson the hard way. You can try to get cute and fade the Phillies, but I mean, look, they just play a lot differently at Citizens Bank Park. A lot of the home runs that weren't home runs in Arizona would be in Citizens Bank Park. This is a team I want to back, and as you mentioned, the value, you're going to have to chase the run line, unfortunately. Honestly, unless you want to use their money line as a parlay piece. But I do think the Phillies get it done and get it done against Merrill Kelly today.
Yeah, 100%. I just don't feel like laying a little bit of juice, or not juice, but I don't feel like taking the run line just in case it is a close game. Because like I said, the Diamondbacks get everything to play for. They're going to be trying their hardest out there. But those are two favorite picks of the day. Astros money line in Game 7, and we'll have the under 4.5 in the first 5 innings of the Diamondbacks-Phillies game. Let's go 2-0. We will, if the Phillies do get forced, or the Diamondbacks do force a Game 7, I believe that game's tomorrow. If not, we'll see you guys in the World Series, where Logan and I will have a separate video every single day. And I will see you guys in our NBA daily videos starting back up later tonight for tomorrow's games. We'll see you then. Austin Logan signing out. Peace.